Fujiwhara effect explained. A European weather forecast model predicts Taiwan may get hit by 2 typhoons at the same time this month. According to Taiwan News, a model from European Center for Medium-Range Weather Forecasts predicts twin cyclones could interact with each other and bring storms to the island nation. This kind of weather event is rare. As 2 cyclones move near each other, they begin to orbit one another. This is known as the Fujiwhara effect. They move either in a clockwise movement if the storm is in the southern hemisphere and counterclockwise if it is in the northern hemisphere. The effect is said to begin when they are around 900 miles apart. How this happens depends on the size of both cyclones. If one is large and the other smaller, the bigger one will hold more power in the interaction. Eventually, both cyclones will merge, with one typically absorbing the other. Though the European model predicts this will occur in Taiwan, others do not. Taiwanese meteorologist Wu De-rong told Taiwan News that weather simulations from Taiwan, Europe, and the U.S. differ. He also said it is too early to draw conclusions on whether it will happen. Here's more on the weather, the planet, and the environment.
The Earth has its own way of cooling rising temperatures. Scientists have long speculated the Earth has a natural thermostat that regulates global temperatures by increasing or decreasing the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Now, a new study suggests this could be true. Researchers have found a correlation between greater deposits of lithium in limestone rocks and warmer periods in the planet's history, when the Earth's weathering thermostat sped up. Carbon dioxide traps heat in the Earth's atmosphere. A dip in carbon dioxide levels can potentially cause an ice age, while a spike can make the planet heat up. The Earth regulates carbon dioxide through a process called the weathering thermostat. Carbon dioxide is removed from the atmosphere when it dissolves in rainwater and combines with rocks to form bicarbonate. When rocks dissolve in water, the bicarbonate combines with calcium to form limestone, locking carbon dioxide inside. Movement of tectonic plates then draws the limestone under the Earth's crust. The carbon dioxide eventually returns to the atmosphere when it separates from the limestone and is thrust out in volcanic eruptions. According to researchers, the Earth's thermostat responds to changes in the planet's temperature. Heat speeds up the weathering process, while cold slows it down. Other influences on the climate include solar activity, the growth of vegetation, and the impact of human activity. Scientists believe the Earth's natural thermostat cannot keep up with man-made climate change and are now looking into ways to artificially speed up the weathering process to counter global warming. Major heat wave to hit southwest U.S. Cities in the southwest are bracing for record-breaking high temperatures over the next few days, which may put the lives of some in jeopardy. High pressure will take hold in the atmosphere across the U.S. Southwest, creating a weather phenomenon known as a heat dome. In a high-pressure system, dense air sinks to the Earth and traps heat near the surface. When heat is trapped, air quality deteriorates as well. Parts of Arizona and California are expected to reach record-shattering triple-digit temperatures next week. The temperature for Phoenix is predicted to hit 121 degrees on Tuesday. Locals say they'll stay in the pool to counter the heat. If you are in the area, don't forget to stay hydrated.
It was probably a good idea to stop firing nukes into space. Decades after they exploded in space, the true effect on Earth of Cold War nuclear bomb tests is only now beginning to be fully understood by scientists. According to recently declassified documents, nuclear weapons tests conducted by the United States and Soviet Union between 1958 and 1962 had an impact on space weather. Nuclear bombs detonated in space created geomagnetic disturbances in the Earth's magnetic field. They also caused electric fields to form on the planet's surface. Some tests even created a layer of charged particles held in place by the Earth's magnetic field called radiation belts. These man-made phenomena caused an aurora to form over the equator rather than at the poles. They also disrupted satellites and caused electrical currents that damaged power grids. Thankfully, America and the USSR stopped chucking nuclear bombs into space more than 50 years ago. According to NASA, this information about man's effect on space weather in the 1960s can hopefully help us better understand what's going on around our planet today.
This is what leaving the Paris Climate Agreement could mean for the U.S. U.S. President Donald Trump confirmed on Thursday that the United States is saying au revoir to the Paris climate deal signed 2 years ago by President Obama. Syria, Nicaragua, and the U.S. are now the only countries that are not members of the 2015 Paris Climate Agreement. The move to leave the deal will create uncertainty about the future of the renewable energy industry in the U.S. The U.S. coal industry wanted to stay part of the agreement to influence future negotiations. Critics say leaving the deal will weaken America's global leadership and could prompt China and other nations to implement a carbon tax on U.S. exports. The U.S. has so far paid a third of the $3 billion that President Obama pledged to the Green Climate Fund set up after Paris. The decision to leave the deal will save American taxpayers $2 billion, but could impact U.S. jobs in the renewable energy sector. The Paris Climate Agreement calls for a limit in the rise of global temperatures to no more than 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels by 2020. Scientists say an increase above that level could have catastrophic implications for the planet. It should be noted that even with the pledges made in Paris, the world is still on course for a temperature rise of 3 degrees Celsius within the next few years. So we're probably all screwed anyway. That is, if you believe in climate change. Which y'all do, right?
How do eruptions cool the planet? Did you know a mega hot eruption can lead to a temporarily cooler planet? The New York Times reports NASA is developing plans to study how eruptions cool the planet. The plan involves sending high-altitude balloons into the air to observe a volcanic eruption event. When sulfur dioxide from an eruption mixes with airborne water vapor, the two create aerosols that reflect sunlight. In 1991, a volcanic eruption in the Philippines sent 20 million tons of sulfur dioxide into the planet's atmosphere. As a result, global temperatures cooled by 1 degree centigrade.